Yes.
All right, how much time do I have?
You've got about 2.5 or 3
Okay,
minutes.
make sure the phone's up in queue so I can hear
it's
the
ready to
caller. We're gonna go to a phone call before we get back on with Andrew Langer, and we'll talk with Nick. Good morning, Nick. Welcome to the John Justice Show.
Hey, good morning, John. Thank you for taking my call.
You're calling from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yes, sir, I am. Yeah.
How'd you find the show?
Well, to be honest, it was actually because of the program you have on before yours.
Oh, okay.
And it just carried over, and I really started listening to you and enjoy your show immensely. It's a great it's just a cool show, man. You do an outstanding job.
Oh, thank you very much. What's your comment?
Well, I just like the debate. Talk about the debate last night. Me personally, I'm kind of glad these debates are biased. I'm really glad that Romney and Ryan are getting these hard questions because these are the questions I want answered. You know, the Obama administration has just been ducking all these questions for the last 4 years. So as a registered independent, knowing that these answers are, knowing that they're giving their answers and answering the tough ones I think is really going to change a lot of people's mind or open people's eyes, I should say.
Yeah, it's almost working as a disadvantage to the individual who is being biased in their questioning, having harder questions towards the people they don't like because it's putting them in a position where they can answer those tough questions as opposed to falling flat on their face. I would agree with you on that. I mean, I don't expect anything less, Nick. I mean, I anticipate that bias. I don't expect them to be objective. I don't think that a lot of moderators or reporters or whatever can do their job without being biased. I mean, we're human beings. It's going to show through somehow.
Right, and like you said before, it wouldn't matter if it was a conservative moderator. It would go the other way, no doubt. But,
hey, Nick, thanks so much for tuning in. It's I'm glad you like the show, and I'm glad you found us, man.
Hey, no, man, thanks for having me. Thank you, buddy.
So that was weird. So you can go ahead and set the phones back up. So we're on the CW58, not back on 104.1 The Truth yet, and we took a call from a guy who's listening from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm confused now.
So am I.
I know. And he found us because he was listening to America's Morning News. He must have been listening.
I don't know.
Yeah, how did he get? I mean, they don't just play America's Morning News on 104.1 The Truth, so...
Right. He had to have had a station near him that was playing it, but he had to have been listening to it
unless he found it
online.
like it did America's Morning News, found it on 1041theTruth.com,
Exactly, yeah.
and none of it really matters. I just was curious. I just found that was a cool call. That was nice. I know, I am. I know, it kind of is. I'll be syndicated whether they like it or not, darn it. It's the big dream. I mean, that's always that's the major goal, but it's like they can't hold me back here in Tucson. I will be.
You can get 3 on 1041 The Truth. Right Talk for Tucson.
7:25. Welcome back to the John Justice Show. Remember, you can join us next Tuesday again out at McMahon Steakhouse for the presidential debate. I'll be out there for the beginning of it. I'll get there a little bit early to hang out with everybody, but then given it's a Tuesday early in the week, I'll have to listen to it and watch it at home. But James T. Harris will be out there after his show is done to come watch as well. Let's get our friend of the show back on, President Institute for Liberty, Andrew Langer. We just took a phone call on because we're doing the televised portion of the show right now as well on the CW58, and we're able to, because of the difference in the spot breaks, we're able to do some added content. Just took a call from a guy listening from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he said he liked the bias because it's forcing Romney and Ryan to be asked the tough questions, and they are coming through that with flying colors. It's almost like it's not working in the favor of those bias moderators because they're asking tough questions and they're able to answer them.
So it's kind of like the Emperor's Sardaukar troops in the movie Dune. They're all raised on a prison planet, so it toughens them up.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
There you go. I know. Hey, actually, John, I had a question for you that's non-VP related.
Absolutely.
How old do my kids have to be before I show them the Warriors?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I'm dying to show it to them. Anyway, go ahead.
How old are your kids now?
Well, my youngest daughter just turned 8.
Yeah, not yet. Here's your answer. Not yet.
There you go. Good to know.
How's that for you?
So we're talking about this stuff. You asked a question before we.
Oh,
went to
just
break.
the human element in all of this. You know, we prop up so. I mean, this happens all the time. You know, it's this reality show. We apply it to our politicians as well. I think that we forget that these individuals are humans at the end of the day with real human emotions, and it's very hard to hide those real instinctual emotions. I think the most telling thing for me, and then I'll let you comment, was for as inconsequential as it may have been, was Barack Obama with his foot propped up in the middle of that debate. It was just as if he wasn't engaged and didn't care to be engaged.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. Listen, you know, it's so funny you say that because one of the things I teach kids as they're coming up in the political world is that they ought to study psychology, because I think if you can study why people get motivated to do what they do, I think it really helps you sort of to understand if you're campaigning for them, you're campaigning against them. It makes you better equipped to deal with what's happening on the ground. But one of the funny things, if you know anything about, and I know you do, about psychology and physiology, is that there are ways that these stresses of the job manifest themselves on everyday people. You know, Reagan had the benefit when he became president of having already started dyeing his hair much earlier. So it was, you know, he would just keep dyeing his hair throughout his presidency. But you get young Bill Clinton, who comes in 92, and he's gray within 2 years. Barack Obama, it's the same thing. And it's not because they want to look more patrician. It's because literally the stresses of the job take their toll on any normal person. And that's how it manifests itself. You can't hide this stuff.
No, you really can't. And one more thing. Oh, I got like a minute left. Darn it. You know what's fascinating for me in all of this, and I'll try to do a quick summary, is that it's almost as if with Romney beginning to lead, it's what so many of us thought should have been happening, and now that it's here, we're having a hard time believing that it's happening. But the reality is, this is what should have been happening all along, based off the 4 years of Obama.
Oh, I agree with that. Listen, and I know you got to go. The one thing to take away from both this debate and the one last week is the president's defenders have started abandoning him in droves.
Yeah.
They smell blood in the water, and that, to me, is probably the most telling indication. If he can't get them back, there's no way that he's going to be able to come back between now and Election Day.
Andrew Langer, President, Institute for Liberty. We'll talk to you again real soon, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Talk to you later on.